Billy back here with Worship of the Nerds. Hope you're doing well. So, I bought the book Christine, but I haven't read it yet. It's in my unread book pile. But I did when I went to a movie store with some friends. It would have been last year. Yeah, last year. I went with some friends, uh, October, because we were getting ready to go to a haunted house, I believe. Yeah, that sounds right. We were going to go to a haunted house and Fright Fest to be specific, or not Fright Fest. We went to Creepy World in St. Louis there, and before we did that, we started the day at a movie store where we met up, and I got to meet my buddy Eddie's mom. Which, if you watch our other channel, the Trick or Treaters, we do movie reviews. Well, anyways, that day I bought the 4K copy of Christine. Now, once again, I have started getting into King's books more, and John Carpenter is one of my favorite directors. So when I saw John Carpenter directed this, and it was a 4K, and I think it was like $20, I'm like, I'm buying this. It's a good deal. My dad told me, it's about a haunted car, and I'm like, okay, let me check this out. So I didn't know what to expect. I figured, okay, it would be about a car that acts a little wonky because it's possessed or something, but I didn't know how far it was going to go. And I read another book called The Haunted Car by R.L. Stein, which another great haunted car book if you guys like that kind of stuff. And I'm eventually going to read the book on this. But this car, so Arnie and his friend Dennis are in high school, and Arnie's bullied. He gets beat up. They pull a knife on him. They cut his lunch. They smash his glasses, Buddy and his friends, and they hurt Dennis. And They actually threaten. Buddy threatens the teacher. Like he goes way too far. So Arnie is pissed, and he's a good kid to start with, but he sees this car and he's like, we got to go check that out. So Dennis drives him up to it. He talks to the owner, who is played by the guy that plays him, also plays the neighbor that saves Kevin in Home Alone. And he sees this car and he asks how much it would be. And the guy says 300, but for you, I would take 250. And then we learn about this story, right? His brother died in the car, his brother's wife, possibly the daughter. Like a bunch of people have been killed by this car. Like at the beginning of the movie, we see the 1958 Plymouth Fury in Michigan kill some people. So the car has a history, right? It's killed some people, and that's how we start the story. But throughout this film, you see Arnie going from this kind of good bullied kid that's to a pissed off, angry, just guy. He's starting to rebel against his parents. He only cares about the car. They won't let him park the car at the house, so he keeps it at this place where the owner has said he can keep it there and even use the parts from the junkyard he finds if he's willing to do work for him. So he does jobs for him, and the car has the ability to heal itself. And throughout the film, the car actually runs over and kills people. Um, Beautiful car, the Plymouth Fury, and he also gets a Arnie gets a girlfriend, and she says, you care about the car more than me. And then after the car gets jealous, she almost chokes to death, and luckily, guy comes in and saves her. And Arnie and Dennis, you could tell they're kind of falling out, and they're not really as good of friends. Arnie's going crazy. He's driving like 100 miles an hour in this car. He just cares about nothing but the car, and it gets in between him and his girlfriend Lee and his friend Dennis, who Dennis gets distracted during the football game, seeing Lee, who turned him down, kissing Arnie, and this causes him to get tackled and nearly becomes paralyzed. He ends up in the hospital. And Arnie, every time he visits him, he just cares less and less, and he's all about Christine. So, in the car, you have to apologize to her, and she'll turn on the radio herself, and it's just sort of for a creepy car movie, this is really well done, right? Like, you wouldn't think going into this it would be that great, but this is the 35th anniversary edition 4K. I do want to watch the. I don't always watch bonus features, but this has a commentary with director John Carpenter and the main star Keith Gordon, which that I want to watch because I just want to see like what they have to say about the film and everything. Like I said, Carpenter is a favorite of mine, and I did read about they're doing like a this drive-in. I've never been there. I want to go though. They're doing a Carpenter Fest, and I'm like, I got to check this out. But yeah, if you like Stephen King and you like stories about like haunted cars and stuff, it's scary in its own way. And the thing is, this movie, the story itself is a cool premise. The movie isn't scary, except the psychology of Arnie, the history of the car, and the music. John Carpenter does not miss when it comes to the music in his films. And it did say in association with Alan Howarth, which Alan doesn't miss either. Because you could tell by the beats, like it's similar to Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Like it has very similar music, and I absolutely love how much tension and suspense is added by the music choices that they make. So yeah, I've met Alan Howarth, cool dude, really nice guy, really fun. I would love to meet John Carpenter. He's a cool dude as well. And yeah, I need to listen to the commentary. Now this film, it made more than its budget, but I found like a lot of Carpenter films are great, and it's a very unique vision. But as I've said before in previous videos, these aren't movies that are going to make like 300-400 million. These are movies that some of them don't make their budget, but they become cult classics. So you can tell Carpenter has his own style, and I respect him for it. He's not afraid to do what he wants to do. Like John Carpenter's Vampires, a very underrated film. If you haven't seen that one, I highly recommend. I was able to track it down in a 5-pack. It was like Bram Stoker's Dracula with Gary Oldman. It had 30 Days of Night. It had The Covenant, Vampires, and the original Fright Night. It was 5 films for like, I might have paid $10 for it. And I thought, wow, what a deal. And I watched all 5 movies and enjoyed all 5 movies. But yeah, this is one of those movies that I highly recommend. And the fact that it takes place, a lot of it at night, just adds to it because Christine will have her headlights off at times. Then the lights will come on. The music will start automatically even when nobody's in it. The car will drive itself and it repairs itself. And it's just amazing. But yeah, I would love to watch the commentary. But yeah, guys, if you've seen this, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this one. Because I think this is just a very underrated gem. And I understand why I missed it. Because as an adult, I'm getting more into Carpenter stuff. But yeah, this is one that I'm keeping for sure. It will go on the shelf next to Goonies that I watched earlier. And yeah, I'm happy to have this in my collection. So that's all I have. Leave me a comment about this. And if you've read the book, let me know your thoughts because I plan on reading the book soon.